fact. Spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner as our red Zerg. He is Start Out Curious. And up to the top right. Needs to bring it back. He needs to win this game or he is eliminated. He is E.G. Jaedong. Okie dokies. Curious. I'm looking at Curious. And he is going to early pool. As is Jaedong. Way! Why am I not surprised? Exactly the same builds. It's Yonsu, man. I mean, what are you going to do? It's Yonsu. Alright. So this is going to be interesting. Basically, what's going to happen here is Lings are going to run by one another, and they'll be like, wait a minute. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okie dokies. So, Overlord in production. And there's not really a whole lot to say at this point, other than we just have to wait for the Lings to come along. Technically, Curious did an extractor trick a little bit quicker than Jaedong there. And actually, now that I look at it, Curious, there was something different about Curious's build just then. He had his Overlord finishing a lot slower than his opponent. But anyway, it doesn't matter. 6 Lings are in production for Curious, as well as a Queen, a little bit faster than Jaedong. So seemingly he wants to transition out of this a bit easier. But it's just Lings, Lings, Lings at this point. All right. Where are they going to meet? Are they going to meet? Oh god, I think they're just both going to, well, this is funny. Oh, okay. Oh, he changed his path to try and greet them. Because they did run past that Overlord. Oh, as did thingies. So, alright. Micro, 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 micro. Oh, you find yourself closer to my reinforcing Lings. I'm just going to watch, guys. I mean, I'm not commentating on 6 Lings fighting Slings. I'm just going to shout micro, 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 and I'll be doing the same job. Actually, no, this is good for Jaedong. His micro's been pretty good. Curious is trying to wiggle on around it, and it's not paid off for him. All right. GG, Jaedong wins. Okay. So, during all of that, he lost 1 extra Zergling. Ooh, he could have evened up the odds there by getting that extra Zergling. Close calls. All right, now Curious has actually been mining gas this whole time, whereas Jaedong has not. So Jaedong, but I mean, both players were looking to drone behind that anyway, and this is probably going to normalize out. But what we could see Curious do is just bank up a ton of Zerglings after throwing down the hatchery, most importantly, I would say. Because if you do not throw down the hatchery, this Overlord's always keeping a good eye on it, and you're just like, that's too obvious. So he could follow this up with full Ling production, and then just try and break his opponent. But it feels to me like Jaedong has some kind of star sense, and does throw down the spine in his base. Jaedong's preparing for this, man. Jaedong is preparing for this. And this Ling getting in really gives him a good tip-off. There's so many Zerglings in production. Those 2 Zerglings actually weren't spotted just then, but now they are, obviously. Baneling Nest goes down as well. Jaedong, after seeing the gas coming in and after seeing the spawning pool whirring away, he has to know that something is going on, especially with the timing of this expansion, which was a little bit later than his, but he has to make sure that his defenses are sturdy and will hold. He was actually getting a few more drones there, and it's kind of suspect as to whether or not he can make those work out. The thing is that if he gets like a 3 or 4 drone lead during all of this, then the Queens as a defensive posture will compensate for the fact that he doesn't have as many Lings, but now speed has finished. Baneling Nest is also about to finish as well. Can't quite easily transition that Spinecrawler down to the low ground, but now he could. There's a little window of opportunity here for him to get that on the low ground, and he's going to go for it. 2 Banelings now morph in. Ideally, Curious doesn't really want to go too quickly before those Banelings are here, otherwise he's going to have a hard time. But now he sees the Spinecrawler. Now he knows that he has a bit of a timer above his head, as those Banelings are going to go straight for this when they want to. Morphing in a few more. But Jaedong think he's going to be okay against this. Tries to throw down Evolution Chamber as well as Roach Warren. That will seal this off a little bit further. It cancels the Roach Warren. And those 5 Banelings, can they get much of anything done? The Spinecrawler as well as that Queen really need to focus down on those. All of those Banelings are really kind of caught up in between all of this. And the Spinecrawler will end up falling. Curious decides to pull on back though. He just does not have the firepower. He doesn't have the Lings. He's making 18 more, but Jaedong seems to have had a good read on what was going on previously, and this is walled off. The Lings that can only go around the hatchery here to really make something happen. Still more Lings on the way. Behind this, he's morphing in his lair. He realizes that his opponent's trying to go up to a Roach Warren, and he fully completes that wall off. That's going to be very, very hard now for him to break in through. And oh, good Queen positioning. Really good retreat out there. The Spinecrawler needs to burrow. It's going to take a little while though. 12 seconds in game to really try and keep this defense alive, but a nice transfuse as well. The drones even come off the line, pushing this back. Jaedong, with good crisis management, hasn't lost a single worker despite utilizing them in that battle. +1 weapons now well underway here. Even cheekily poking out and getting a little Zergling for his troubles. But the Zerglings and Queens do hold on for him. Alright, so it's 1-1 upgrades with Roaches coming out here for Jaedong, whilst Curious has very little to go on. Yes, he did get his layer, and he is grabbing himself a Spire, but he only has 32 workers compared to 38. Not the biggest of deficits. But now Jaedong's looking to put on the hurt himself. And with these Lings, he forces out his opponent to make a lot of Lings, maybe even some Banelings, and behind that he can drone as well. So he's going to extend that lead a little bit further. Ooh, juke and jive, juke and jive. Careful. I mean, these Lings are almost guaranteed to die because they are sealed in this space so heavily. So maybe if he could have got a drone or two focused down, that would have been nice. But they managed to get out, realizing that the Banelings have moved out into the middle of the map with these Overlords. So, +1 weapons for Roaches is already done. If I can't help but feel if Jaedong actually just went very, very aggressive with a 1-1 timing, then that could work out. But actually the Lings get a good surround on these Queens, but they do have too much energy for transfuses. Curious realizes that and moves back out. There was never really a total guarantee of him being able to kill off any of these. They still have energy for transfuses. Not sure what he's doing. But now a Nidus Worm for Jaedong goes down. I mean, he knows there's a Spire there, of course, so he needs to get across the other side of the map very, very quickly. He does have 5 Queens. The thing is that any transfuses that those Zerglings could have soaked out from those Queens then makes this Nidus Worm Roach Queen play a little bit worse, because obviously then you don't have enough transfuses to keep the Queens alive whilst they're trying to fend off the Mutalisks, if you actually want to do this. Where is he going to throw the Nidus Worm is the big question. There it is. Alright. So, yes, Mutalisks are about to pop, but there's nothing but Queens in production, as well as the Roaches here, to go along with these Roaches. And actually, he's bringing back the Roaches that were in the middle of the map to that Nidus Worm. So, I mean, Clear Reconstitution finished up in 9 seconds anyway. But now, Curious is going to have a whole lot of trouble fending this off. Another Nidus Worm goes down just in case the Mutalists try and swing on around the left-hand side here to pick off that one. Very, very smart move here by Jaedong to add multiple routes to this. But this is a lot of aggression that we're seeing from Jaedong. A lot of arming supplies, 70 to 44. And the Queens do get engaged upon, but the transfuses will keep them alive for now. He needs to bring every Queen that he can with him. But it's also important to note that the Queen with the most energy, if Curious is doing this correctly, he will try and bring down the ones with the most energy to fend this off. But he's actually just focusing down on the one at the very front there. That's not the most wise of decisions. I mean, he doesn't really have too much of an option, but at the same time, the ones at the back with the energy, gonna hold